Hi, welcome. My name is Angelique, and today I'm going to be talking about Mercury and Capricorn as it relates to communication and interest in astrology. If it's your first time, welcome. I'm a student of astrology for over 30 years. Plus, I have a background in psychology, mental health, and counseling. So I love to dive deep. I love to explore our human mind, but also our patterns, and astrology allows us to do that, not just for prediction, but a tool to understand ourselves, to improve our lives, to bring more balance. So that is what I do and I love. I also appreciate all the likes and people subscribing that have been happening. I really appreciate it. And this is a way to get this content out more to people. So, what I'm going to do is touch on the sign Capricorn, break down the mythology, the symbolism, and see how we can find some practical ideas and possibly solutions to use this placement. So, Capricorn, I have a full deep dive onto the mythology and where that came from in my episode Sun in Capricorn that you can listen to if you're interested. But overall, Capricorn is ruled by the planet Saturn, and in Roman mythology, Saturn is the archetype for a father, this parental figure, but it rewards through patience, through time, through hard work. So this is a placement that can manifest a lot of recognition, success, material abundance. Saturn is known for material and wealth rewards. However, there needs to be time and effort put in. So that's kind of the caveat. That's like okay, I want this success, I want this recognition, but this is not overnight. This is not, oh, I'm going to write a book in a night and have all these people that are fans immediately. Like, no, this is probably years of maybe not going as noticed, maybe not having as much recognition, but if you are diligent and you have this placement or any Capricorn placements, the success can be really monumental, really huge, but you have to stick with it. So it can be a harder sign when it relates to communications and interests and hobbies because the path to succeeding in them can be long and can be difficult. So Saturn is known for time, and time just means that there needs to be patience. It's a very practical placement. It's a very practical sign and energy. It's relating to the earth. So when we think of doing anything to change the earth in any way, it takes a lot of work. It is not hard, or I should say, it is not easy to grow sustainable food, to grow plants and trees, to make a building, a shelter or a home. It's not easy to do that overnight, even with all the advancements in technology that we have right now. You can't just put up a house one night. Like, there needs to be a lot of planning and executing. And that's what this is what the Saturn energy does here, right? So, when you combine that with the element of air, and I'm focusing on air here. I know Mercury also has earth as well, but I'm thinking this talk is more focused on the communication and the interest of the sign, which I feel like take on a more air like tone. Uh, so when we have earth and air together, it's going to displacement might have more challenging times relating to communicating with other people or sharing their ideas, sharing their interests, being open to interest and learning a bunch of different things in a different way. That's where the challenging can come. The other side of Mercury, Capricorn is really good at. the organization, the planning, the more structure. So yes, there's going to be more of that with this placement. However, because of that need to talk and communicate and share information, that's the more air like quality of Mercury. And Capricorn, while really good at being knowledgeable and very wise, can struggle when it comes to communication that is maybe, let's say, more surface level. So something like networking, flirting, anything that is not going to directly contribute to a goal can be seen as frivolous, can be ignored, or just not talked. So these are the people that, if they are speaking, it's either something they feel like is practical or logical or contributing to their goals. So, for example, someone with this placement, being a young child, might have a lot more difficulty finding friends, connecting with other people, because they might have a more serious tone to how they speak, how the information they want to talk about might not be childlike, quote unquote. So they might be more interested in something like uh, building structures, IT, coding. They might be more interested in that, which is still kid like, but they might not like to do a lot of imaginative play. There might not be a lot of art that's, totally of your emotions and just free and open, and there's no structure to it. So, unless the play is structured in some way or something that's very interesting to them with a logical or a practical output, they could have been someone that struggled with this going. And that extends to adulthood. So a lot of play is still involved with making friends, keeping friends, going on dates, any type of romance. And so people with displacement, they might really more so struggle with that aspect of relationships. They tend to feel more natural in business relationships or friendships and relationships that take on a more business or a serious tone. So, someone with Mercury and Capricorn might feel uncomfortable or awkward trying to relate to a very young child that wants to just be free and dramatic and express these big emotions and be super silly. That might make them a little uncomfortable, but they might relate to their teenager who is trying to find a path to success, college, looking at colleges, trying to make plans for the future. They might really connect with older children, teenagers, young adults. So, this is also a placement that education might not be something they're super interested in younger in life, because education work I'm making a blanket generalization, but overall education does revolve around being open-minded and being curious and exploring different possibilities, especially if you're going to take higher education that requires different skills, different classes outside of just what you are taking. And that might just, for someone with Mercury Capricorn, that might just kind of be a waste of time unless it can get them to what they want sooner. So these are the people that in high school and soon after might be more inclined to go right into a workforce, to learn a trade so they can start working as soon as possible, or they work in an environment that leads to management very soon. So these are people who higher education might be something to do later in life after they've already succeeded. Like, I'll meet a lot of people with Mercury and Capricorn who they started a business when they were 18, or they worked as in customer service that led to a management that led to is a CEO or something, and then their 30s or 40s, they decide to then go to college to get either like a master's degree or a completely different field. So these are not typically the people who are going to want to spend so long in schooling to get that recognition. So something like a doctor might make sense on paper for someone with Mercury Capricorn, but it could take 8 to 10 years to even start getting recognition, to really start doing things hands on. It's a lot more schooling. And Mercury and Capricorn loves practical, loves anything practical, anything hands on. So they might be someone who uh, likes math, but going to work at a bank seems more practical for them because they can actually use these skills directly, immediately, help other people while building whatever personal goals or dreams they have. So that is Mercury and Capricorn, like just kind of overall. But like I said, the communication can come off more austere, more cold, because of that Saturn quality. So it can make conversations kind of dampen or depressed. So if Mercury and Capricorn is with someone who's doing a lot of this fanciful knowledge, a lot of things that are not grounded, or maybe stuff that's not true, just to be more expressive, to be more fun, Mercury and Capricorn might be like, no, that's not how it went down. This is untrue that you're saying. So they can poke holes in things that can make it difficult to just have lighter, more social interactions. They might prefer to do more one-on-one or more small group. They might have only like a few close friends, or if they do have a partner and friends and family that are close, there are most likely people that there's a practicality in the way that they communicate. They also enjoy um, receiving recognition or success or doing hard work. Uh, they also might have a very slow, methodical way that they talk. Um, might be a person of few words, Mercury and Capricorn. So they might enjoy people who like to communicate in a way that is uh, a quieter or just like more thoughtful, more practical. Um, that's not to say it can't be the other case, but this is an overall generality. Charts, natal charts, birth charts are going to change how people relate and emote to each other. But some interests for Mercury and Capricorn, they might really enjoy outdoor activities. And that's because we have the earth energy of the sign. So something that maybe is competitive could be really good. So something like marathon running, or just even if it's hiking, they might enjoy gardening, planting, but that desire to be respected and succeed can motivate them even more. So maybe it's not just they're planting in their backyard and they're having an easy time. Maybe they're entering a competition, like a competition for plants to see who had the most beautiful plants. Maybe this is somebody who is joining a baking competition. So these are the people that we might see that they're more motivated to grow skills if they can get success or recognition from it in some way. So Capricorn rules over our joints, our ligaments, our skin, our teeth, everything that it relates to structure and keeps us living in our best way. So people with Mercury and Capricorn might be really interested in these areas, hobbies, or skills that relate to this. So this can be like teeth whitening. This can just be a lot of stretching. Something like yoga could be really good because there's a lot of structure and practicality involved with it, as well as the spiritual nature. But the moves and how you go about it is very structured, so they might enjoy that. They also might enjoy any meditations that are very grounded and practical, or anything in nature. So forest bathing could be really something of interest for them. Like I said before, running, jogging, that's, especially if it's outside or in nature, they might really enjoy. Capricorn is known as the goat, especially a mountain goat. So anything in the mountains, skiing, that could be really something of interest for them. They also might be really interested in food, tea, herbs, especially if there's a direct way that it can help you that they're able to see practically. So, any tea that they know has certain properties that help the body, that nourish the body. So, something like green tea, I think about, there's lots of studies out there on the benefits of the health and your body, your skin. Um, so that's just examples there. So those are some things they might be really, really interested in. In terms of jobs or careers, they might be interested in management in some way, but also anything that has structure to it and is maybe practical or hands-on. So I'm thinking working with plumbing, carpentry, any kind of trade like woodworking, anything that can be hands-on and structure that they can succeed at, that they can gain recognition. Those are all paths as well that you can work on your own, because this is a leader energy as well with Capricorn. It loves to lead. It loves to help others. It loves to grow and is passionate about leading others to do things on their own. So maybe this is someone that works in construction, but then they ended up having their own construction company, and they mentor other people. So that's just an example. But overall, this is a really good placement for organization, for structure, and there just might have to be some more education and changing of abilities if there are different relationships or paths that need to be taken to get what you want. So, like I said, growing to be a manager or having your business is great, but you have to know how to talk to people, and some of that is small talk, some of that is having conversations that might not be super meaningful or practical or logical to be able to get clients or work with employees or colleagues or anything like that. All right, and that's what I have today for Mercury and Capricorn. Thank you so much for listening. If you have this placement and you'd like to share about it, you can leave a comment. Otherwise,